Hey everyone, so this is Catfish season 6 episode 14. Kelsey and Brandon. Kelsey is the one who wrote in concerning Brandon. In the initial email, she explains that she is 26 and lives in Texas at New Brunswick. I think she said New Brunswick. Yeah, New Braunfels, Texas. She is a single mother to an 8-year-old named Lane. She wants help concerning a guy named Brandon. They've been talking for over 3 years, and he is 31. He lives in Bradleyville, Missouri at the moment, apparently. They make plans for someday and the future, and have since tried to meet up, but every time they have, it's always fallen through. She has one time driven over 10 hours to meet him, but is confused why he doesn't want to put in the same effort she seems to want to. So they get her on Skype, and she explains how it's weird how they met, because the way they met is they added each other on Facebook about 3 years ago, and he was just suddenly on her friends list, and she doesn't remember when, and she doesn't remember how all this came about. It just happened. She says they started off as friends, but it grew into something more when she broke off her engagement and subsequently wedding, about a year ago. She explains she broke off the wedding because she felt that she was trying to portray this picture perfect relationship when it really wasn't like that in the first place. It was anything but, actually, and she felt the only way to even rectify any of that was to call off the wedding. Brandon then started to check up on her, even though she wouldn't respond at first, and he just basically wouldn't let up. She tells him that Brandon isn't the video or photo sharing type, and she has her suspicions because, as was stated in the email, she said that she drove 10 hours to meet him. It was to meet at a mud fest in Louisiana. And while she was there for the first couple of days, we will later find out that it went from Wednesday to Sunday, and she went from Wednesday to Friday. Like Wednesday to Friday afternoon, Friday night, and while she was there from Wednesday to Friday, he never showed up. And a few hours after she leaves, he suddenly is there and sends her a picture of himself there too. So that's when Nev and Max decided to go to New Braunfels and meet up with Kelsie at her house. They meet her cousin. I think her name is Katie, and they ask her what she thinks. She tells them, well, she feels like it's the real guy in the pictures, but there is some serious secret that he's not sharing. Because he won't meet up or via chat, and it's something like he has he has a significant other. Then Kelsie shows him the Nev and Max photos of her at the Mudfest, and of Brandon, and Nev's, well, like, what if he was there the entire weekend? And she's kind of scared at that thought because she doesn't want to be um, she doesn't want to be proven wrong, that this is not the guy. And he's like, well, I don't really want to scare you, but Neve's like, well, I do, because something about this just doesn't feel right at all whatsoever. And I'm just like, Max, please come through. Like, he's giving me all the, like, he's kind of giving me life here, because this, like, something about it wasn't feeling right to me either. They then go to a cafe to investigate. They look at his Facebook page and see that he supposedly actually lived in Colorado instead of Missouri. Max then knows that Kelsie told him that he lives in Missouri when he supposedly lives in Colorado right now. They then notice that the first photos that he has up there are from 2009. So Neve's like, well, he doesn't think he's been faking it for 10 years. I'm like, Neve, please don't say that, because you never know. You never know what these catfishes. Don't ever say that, please. And it's just like, Max is now starting to think that the profile is real, and he may be real, but he's still hung up on the fact that, well, why haven't they ever met? So, they then reach out to a guy named Justin, who seems to comment on his profile a lot. While they wait for a response, they run Brandon's phone number, and it comes up with a guy named William, who has the same last name as Brandon and lives in Springfield, Missouri. They then get a call from Justin, who tells them that he and Brandon went to high school together, that Brandon did go to the Mudfest, even though Justin himself didn't go, and that his truck did have a lot of problems while trying to get there. He says he doesn't think Brandon's dad's name is William, and that he has actually never heard of Kelsie being talked about before by Brandon, which is just another thing that, to me, further makes Max suspicious. So they try to ask if Brandon's in a relationship at the moment with someone else, and then a call cuts out. They speculate all the red flags still, and then go back over to Kelsey's house to tell them all the things they found out. They explain that things like him tagging his friends and the fact that his page has been active since well before they even became friends makes it legit. They then show her the current city. And she drops a tiny bombshell about how he has always been talking about living in Colorado, and their someday and future plans. So that, and explains why he's always talking about it because he probably just currently lives there. They then show the phone number he gave her, and tell her that someone close to him may be using his profile, talking to her. They then tell her the phone call from Justin, and she feels bad because he has Brandon has made her feel like she's an important part of his life, and he hasn't even told one of his closest friends about her. So, which I can understand. I mean, I feel pretty bad myself about it, so I'm not going to blame her for that. And then speculate that he's apprehensive about taking on a father role in her son's life, and while she agrees that most people might have concerns about that, she has never kept from him. And then that's when Eve was decided to call him and all that. During the call, Brandon says that the whole thing freaks him out. And then Eve asks, where do you live? And he says Branson. And he does agree to meet them if they come out the next day. So Neve goes back in, tells them of the conversation, and Max again warns her that something still feels weird about this whole thing. and just not be naive about it at all. Next day, they try to make their way to Branson, but are delayed about 5 hours before they make their way through Arkansas to Missouri. And the day after they leave, or the day after they leave and make it to Missouri, they call him to see where they can meet, and he's dealing with his fucked up truck again, so which are having issues. So he sounds like he's basically blowing them off, and then the call cuts out. He then texts them to meet them on a specific highway till the road ends, and he'll be there. And once they're there, he's not there at the moment, but he eventually comes up on an ATV, and it's actually him. So I'm glad that actually worked out for her. But I was legit thinking, I legit thought I was on Team Max pretty much. I'm usually on Team Max with with these Catfish episodes. I'm usually on his team. Sometimes I'm a little bit more Nev sometimes, but most of the time I'm on Team Max because of the fact that most of these catfishes are legit suspect. So I'm glad it actually worked out for her, and I'm glad that and we find out in the 2-month follow-up that they're taking things slow. I'm glad that that's still that they're actually taking things slow, because it's nice to see that no one's rushing in at anything. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. To a few episodes back, can't remember her name, but the white girl with the black guy who used the white guy's photo. I can't remember their names, but hint, hint, nudge, nudge to that episode earlier in the season. Just saying. I'm still kind of mad about that shit, but that's not this episode, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Turns out that Brandon does have almost a week off in the coming days after 2-month follow-up, and he plans on going down to Texas to spend that time with Kelsie, which I'm glad that they're doing that. So I would like a follow-up after a Catfish reunion at the end of the season to see if things are still going well for them. I would like to see that. However, things may not be going so well for tonight's episode. A girl named April needs help finding and meeting a guy named Dean. Now, in the promo at the end of episode 14, didn't necessarily tell us this, but on the description for tonight's episode on the MTV website, it says that apparently Dean has been disappearing, doing disappearing acts. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word for some reason, but yeah, he's been doing disappearing acts quite often during their entire relationship. Apparently they met on a teen chat site. Now that I actually say it out loud, that sounds so fucking sketchy. It sounds so damn sketchy. They met on there, but they met when they were 13 years old, which was 7 years ago. So they're now 20 years old. But yeah, apparently, according to the description on the MTV website, this is not the first time that he's disappeared on her, because apparently he's disappeared on her ass, and it's not the first time. So, that should be a gigantic ass red flag in and of itself to her. I don't know. I would have called it quits after the second time he did it on my ass. I would try to give him the benefit of the doubt the first time. I would try to. I'm not guaranteeing that I would have, but I would have tried to give him the benefit of the doubt the first time. But the second time he did it on my ass, it's a wrap. His ass is gonna be gone. I ain't with that shit. He can leave me the fuck alone after that. If he's gonna be playing these damn games with me, like fuck that. He can just leave me the fuck alone after that shit. That's just me. Obviously it's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's just me. So hopefully I will get tonight's episode up tomorrow. And I will see you guys then.